Right on, folks. Another little test ride, another little gem. This is a Yamaha R6 2000 5EB model. Beautiful condition. Sounds pretty sweet, I know. It's not 100% sweet, but I'll describe that as we go round. But original fairings in very good order. Standard mudguard, exhaust, not been messed about with. So it's got lots of service history and a bit of a gap where it stood for a few years. We commissioned it a couple of customers ago, and carbs all bunged up, usual sort of story. And then we've now got it again. Let's have a little ride round. I've done quite a bit of testing on this bike, so I know it does really fly. But it's not perfect. It has a bit of a flat spot around 3.5. It's not completely predictable either. Oh, and we had a little cut out then. She's still cold, so and we spent a little bit of time trying to fix that, but to no avail. And after a bit of research and a fair bit of time, we realised that it's compressing the crankcases a little, especially in that sort of very low RPM area. As you get the RPM gets higher, it really does clean up. So why is it compressing the crankcases, I hear you say? So we're a bit of a dead zone as we're going up the hill there, because we're just stuck in that. That's good. So if you're over 4, we're on a missile, she goes like stink. Well, of course you can't ride it over 4,000 everywhere. So why is it doing that? So we think it's got either a head gasket failure, which I think is unlikely, or it's a cracked liner, which is apparently quite a common problem on these early 5EB motors. So here we go. There we go. So we've done some testing where we had the crankcases vented to air, a bit like you would on a race bike, like we used to do on our old endurance bike, and obviously it ran really well. But as soon as you connect the airbox back up to the crankcase vent, the pressure upsets the ram air intake, and you get inconsistent carburation, or fueling, I should say. So unless you can put up with it, it's a bit of a pain in the bottom. So I'm down about 3,000 revs now. If I just accelerate, a bit dull now, and then it goes through and away. Obviously that's accentuated on the hill, and sometimes, like if I clutch it now, it's just ticking over okay at the moment, but sometimes the pressure will build up and it causes it to stall out at junctions, and just generally be a little bit unpleasant. I'm going to put the lights on, manual. So what we're doing is we're selling it as a project. It can be done. We've done a bit of research. There is a firm in the UK that specialises in replacing the liners. About £600. But for us to spend the labour time and the relining becomes a little bit uneconomical to then sell it. We'd have to sell it at a fairly high price. So we're thinking it'd be ideal for someone for a project. If you can put the labour time in, you could get yourself a super little bike, fantastic track day bike, or just a really good condition R6. We have got a gasket set. I think we've only taken the timing cover on the right hand side off. Was just checking pickup coils and stuff, making sure it was all good. So it's pretty much a full gasket set. And that goes with the bike. It's a workshop manual. It's in one of the photographs. At the moment it's behaving quite well, just with a bit of a flat spot, but it does misbehave intermittently. But whatever's happened, it's very early days. Maybe a small crack in top of a liner. It tends to be, as it warms up, it then leaks more. Obviously the temperature's quite low today, so maybe it's one of the best road tests we've had. But anyway, I think a great winter project. Obviously the liners are part of the upper crankcase, so it's a full engine strip. No two ways about it. Come on. Over 4 and away we go. But brake discs are really good. Tyres, everything's really spot on. So it's a real shame. I mean, we've contemplated doing it maybe over the winter when we're a bit quieter, but sometimes you can put that labour time to more productive use. So we're offering it on auction. Here we go. You could look for a second-hand motor, but I think you'd struggle. I think there's a few that have got the issue, and motors aren't common. It goes a little bit up and down, but to be fair, it's running quite well. Nice and clean. Seems really good at the moment. There we go. Something to bid on. Cheers.